In section 3 of chapter 1, in the exercise set, we'll look at some of the things just to get a little flavor of what it's all about. Remember, all of the odd examples, the answers are at the end of the textbook. So, in our first 12 examples here, we're asked to classify whether each of the following statements as either an expression or an equation. Now, we run across this throughout our work in algebra, and the key difference between an expression and an equation is that in an expression there are no equal signs. So anything with an equal sign in it somewhere is an equation. So, equation, 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 equation. So I think we've got them. Now, what do you do in an equation? Well, we solve it. What do we do in an expression? We simplify it if we can. So, for instance, here, we would distribute that to get rid of our parentheses and see if we can combine like terms. Okay, so let's go on. Now in these next few, they're asking us to use mathematical symbols to translate each phrase. And often they'll say, well, use X for the number, or we can use the letter N for the number. I think we'll use the letter N here. But they'll often tell you in MATLAB what letter they want you to use. 6 less than some number. Well, there's the number. And how would you indicate 6 less? Four more than some number. Well, there's the number. And 4 more. 12 times a number. Well, there's the number. And 12 times it. Now notice, we don't have to put a dot there or a parenthesis. When there's no sign between a number and a variable, it implies multiplication. Twice a number. 65% of some number. Well, there's the number, and we convert percent into a decimal. 39% of some number. Nine more than twice the number. Now we usually put the variable up front. So there's twice the number, 9 more. 6 less than half of a number. Now half of a number, and then 6 less. Now another way you could have written that is 0.05 for 1/2 instead of the 1/2. 8 more than 10% of some number? Well, 10% of some number I don't need this extra 0, but I've put it there. And then 8 more. 5 less than 6% of some number. One less than the difference of two numbers. So here you have to have two numbers. So we'll say x minus y, and I'll put that in parentheses. That's the difference of two numbers and one less. One more than the product of two numbers. Well, here this is subtraction, the difference of two numbers. Now for multiplying two numbers, it would be xy. That would be the product of two numbers and one more. And I don't need an equal sign there, I need a plus sign. Because these are just expressions, not equations. 90 miles per every 4 gallons of gas. So 4 gallons of gas per 90 miles. I needed to read that one a little more closely. So it would be 90 miles for every 4 gallons of gas. So I would think it's something like that. Okay, we'll have to raise it up. And then for number 26, doing it the same way, 100 words per 60 seconds. You're making a comparison. All right, now what they'd like here is to set up equations translating English into algebra. They don't want us to solve these yet, just to set them up. The sum of two numbers is 91. One of the numbers is 9 more than the other. What are the numbers? So, since I'm doing this from a standstill, I hadn't read these before, I need to think about them just as you would need to think about them. So I read it through, and then here's the clue. One number is 9 more than the other number. So there's the first number, there's the other number, and the sum of these numbers, there's the first, plus the second, will equal 91. And here the sum of two numbers is 88. One number is 6 more than the other. See that this one is the sister of that. This was the odd. The answer's in the back of the book. This one, the answer isn't there. So again, the first number is n. The second number is 6 more than that. And the sum is 88. Okay, you'll be doing things like this, and again, the odd examples here, the answers are in the back of the book. In MATLAB, every answer will come up once you submit it. And what you want to do is develop a skill so that you get the correct answers. All right, we'll wind this one up.